Playmakers, how's it going? This is Coach Wood back with you, baby, and very excited to because we've got a big topic to cover in today's episode. But if you're joining us for the first time, welcome to the channel. This is the Before You Go Pro channel, baby. This is the football channel. This is football's time of year, so you know you're in the right place. If you are a young, aspiring player, a family member of a player, a coach, or a fan, thank you. Thank you for joining us today, you guys. Today's topic is going to pertain to some of the athletes that tap into the Before You Go Pro channel. And this is right in the wheelhouse of the Weekday Huddle, you guys, okay? This is where we come into the huddle and we strategize and then we go execute. Today's topic, you guys, is a very interesting one. Very interesting. We have talked about the 5 for 5 rule, right? We've talked about how back in the day, Coach Wood's getting a little up there in age, and back in my day, you had 5 years to be at a university. I was at the Boulder, Colorado campus for 5 years, but we only had 4 years. We only had 4 years to actually be on the field, suited up, and get after it. Well, they said away with that. And this is supposed to be the first year that there's the new 5 for 5 rule. It seems like there's a new rule in college sports, college football every other week. But now the 5 for 5 rule says you got 5 years at that university, just like Coach Wood, but you also get 5 years on the field. 5 years on the field, throw away the red shirt, come ready to play from day one. You got 5 years to make something of yourself, which is great too, because we're in the day of NIL. So the interesting, whenever there's something that comes new as far as a ruling, as far as a law, there's always a byproduct, right? So we're going to get into the byproduct, and the thing that kind of makes you feel a little bit funny as someone that wants to get some new blood to college football. But before we do the housekeeping, make sure that you hit that subscribe button. We are like 6 people away from 1,000 subscribers, which is crazy to me. I know it's small fries to some of you young athletes out there, but it's crazy to Coach Wood. So please make sure you hit that subscribe button, and then also check out the resources that we have for you young ballers down in the description box. So what is the byproduct of this new 5 for 5 rule? Obviously, somebody's got to take a little bit of a loss, right? Because now these guys get to play for 5 years on the field. We're hoping, and this was the whole gist of the initial ruling, was to get young blood, back into college sports. We had 6, 7, 8, 9-year seniors, you guys, and the NCAA, and now it's coming into some help with the feds. They said, hey, enough is enough. Enough is enough. We need to usher these athletes through, keep the conveyor belt going, and get the high school and the young JC kids, the prep school kids, a chance. Get all these old people out of here. You got 5 years. We don't care what's going on with you. You got 5 years and you need to move on. Go get a job or make it to a professional team, right? So we're thinking, hey, this is great. This is great because eventually this is going to filter out and the younger kids are going to get back to being the focus of a lot of these universities. Not fully. We'll always have the portal. That's not going anywhere, but it won't be as heavy. That's what we're hoping with the 5 for 5. However, the byproduct, you guys, is we've currently got lawsuits, and some kids have actually been approved. They've got a temporary injunction where they're being able to come back from the NFL to play college football this year. So because of this ruling, you guys, keep in mind that there's some kids that had already determined that they were going to go off and play in the NFL, had already started to go through the process. They're thinking, hey, old school ruling. I have 4 years on the field. Maybe I played as a true freshman and played all 4 years, making my NIL money, And now it's time for me to go to the NFL. And maybe they were a low round draft pick, or maybe they were a free agent and they made it to the NFL. They're currently at the filming of this Weekday Huddle episode. This is the middle of August, so you guys know it's training camp time. So some of these guys are rookies in NFL training camps, and then they're hearing through the grapevine, oh, I actually could have played one more year. If I knew I could have played one more year, obviously I'm glad I'm here in the NFL, but it's looking bleak for me to make the team. If I could have played one more year and knew that earlier, I would have never left. I'm going to go sue. I'm going to go sue the NCAA so that I can go back to college. And lo and behold, you guys, 16. It looks like about 16 former college football players. They played 4 years of college football, but now NFL players are trying to get out of their NFL contracts and go back and play another year of college football. And of course, cash in and maybe even improve their draft stock. But what's your opinion? Is this something where they're kind of gaming the system? Is this something where they should have been done? Hey, it was over. I mean, I can't go back and get a fifth year on the field. Not that I would want to, but I can't go back and get a fifth year on the field. Now, how long does that go back? Does that go back for just this year's guys? Does that go back for 2 years, 3 years? So there's a little bit of the ethics being touched. And obviously, when these guys get injunctions or they get temporary rulings where the NCAA has a restraining order on them and they have to let these guys play, yes, it's good for the individual. But is it good for the game? Is it good for the game? I mean, as somebody, we're in a capitalistic society, so I get it. You can game the system and go get another year and make some money. And as an individual, that sounds darn good, especially maybe if you weren't going to make that NFL team. But also, that you may be taking somebody's roster spot, right? Somebody that had already been given the roster spot, had thought they'd been cleared, who's currently in training camp now and had no idea that other people could still be in the running to take their spot. We did away with the spring portal for a reason, right? We did away with the spring portal because it was too bad for the people trying to make a team, people trying to forecast if they were going to be able to be at that university. And then now we got people coming in the spring. But they did away with that. So should guys still be able to come right before the fall and take somebody's job? These roster spots are capped. There may be a couple of teams with some roster space. There may be some teams with some roster space due to some injuries or some guys that just hung it up and said, or some social stuff. There's been Georgia's cut, there's been some teams that have cut some guys because of some social stuff. So there's always roster space. But should these guys who were just in NFL camps, I was just trying to pick off Joe Burrow in the Bengals camp, should I be able to go back and play in the SEC this year? Should I be able to go back and play in the Big 12 or in the Big Sky at the FCS level if I was just in an NFL training camp? What do you guys think? In my opinion, you guys, I would hope for it to be over. They had already made up mentally and went through the process of trying to be drafted or picked up as a free agent. They've obviously were high-level college guys. They've moved on to the point where they actually got NFL opportunities and are currently trying to make rosters. They had already moved on mentally. And I do understand that you can game the system, and that's what these young men have done. Once again, I think it's about 16 players. I do understand that you can sue and game the system, but is it what you should really be doing? Is it? You guys let me know. I know that if I was in their position, I would probably say yes, Coach Wood. It is definitely something I should be doing. You know, I finished my career playing in the Fiesta Bowl at the University of Colorado. If somebody would have told me after that game, my senior year, after playing 4 years, if somebody would have told me, hey, there's this little loophole, and if we take it, you can get one more year, I probably would have took it. I probably would have took it. And I definitely would have took it if it was today where I could get paid. I definitely would have took it. So, you know, on one hand, I do not blame the kids. I get it. If I put myself in their shoes, I totally get it. But on the other hand, of doing what's right for the game, doing what's right for this to continue to give some younger guys a shot, I don't like it. I don't like it. All right. So you guys let us know what you think. Once again, how many years can you go back? Is it just the guys who left this past season because they got word of this rule a little late? Or should guys from 2 years ago be able to, that maybe sitting on the couch, maybe they didn't get a pro shot, but they're still working out, trying out there in shape. Should they be able to go back and get that last year? Should they be able to go back and get that 5th year? You guys let us know. Huge season coming up for so many of us. We're praying for you guys. Many of you are playing games this weekend. Get after it. Think big. Visualize big. We'll talk about that too. And make sure that you hit that subscribe button and check out the resources we have for you. I'm Coach Wood. We'll see you at the top.